Hello, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber and I also read a page from a book of my choice. So if you've just watched my video regarding my top 5 books for 2023, in this one I am going to be telling you about my 5 least favorite books of this year. And I'll start off by mentioning this one called The Story Begins by Amos Oz. It was the first book I read by this author, and as you can see over here, it's essays on literature. I wasn't particularly interested by this. It read more like a textbook than a proper story or an educational nonfiction sort of book. Quite underwhelming, and I wouldn't recommend this author in his nonfiction form to anybody out there. Next one is called Leave the World Behind by Ruman Alam, and recently they made this one into a film. And I also heard that people were complaining about how horrible the ending is, but don't worry, it's just as horrible um, in the book as people have said it is in the movie. Needless to say, I will not be watching the movie because of how much I was disappointed by the ending. And for me, endings can literally make or break a book, especially this one, considering there was so much build up and then there was such a letdown with the conclusion. The next one is called Loki, Where Mischief Lies by Mackenzie Lee. Now, I've heard a lot of great things about this author, but this one just did not hit the mark. I love Loki, I like Norse mythology, I also like Thor. This one felt like it was just a bunch of blabbering, and it was very difficult for the author to get to the point. In fact, there didn't really seem to be any point, and I think it's something that has to do with me and with London about 300 years ago, which I just don't like the environment of, and I suppose many other people can relate to that as well. Fourth book is called Murder at the Bookstore by Sue Minix. This one I particularly disliked because of how horrible the main character is. And by horrible, I don't mean horrible as a person, but horribly written as a character. So the problem lies with the author rather than with the character. I wouldn't recommend Sue Minix. I say that the idea for the book is intriguing because it's a murder mystery. It revolves around the bookstore, and of course, the cover is stunning. However, the book was horrible, and I don't even know how I managed to finish reading it without DNFing it because, frankly, I should have done so. It didn't really lead to anything, and the main character didn't even solve the case herself ultimately, which is quite. I wouldn't even say ironic. Lazy writing would perhaps be a better way of phrasing it. And the final book is called On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. This is also a memoir. I didn't know that it was a memoir. I thought it was a normal fiction book. It's by Ocean Vuong. And I didn't dislike this one because of the gay element, because the LGBT community is a part of it, but rather because of how pretentiously it is written and how people have been making such a fuss over how well it is written when in fact, it's really just a bunch of words strung together, hoping to make sense, and they ultimately don't really do. There really isn't a point to this book apart from the relationship between the two main characters. And needless to say, I don't much care for the life of Ocean Vuong, and I'm glad that this one was lent to me by a friend of mine, and I didn't have to buy it myself because I saved quite some money not having to buy this one. I have to give this one back to her at some point. So if you're watching this, we'll have to meet up so I can give you back your book. Anyway, those are the 5 books I disliked the most in 2023. Make sure to check out the books I like the most in 2023 if you'd like some recommendations for 2024. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Anything you can do to help this channel get a silver play button, especially if you enjoyed. And of course, Happy New Year. If you have any recommendations, do let me know about them in the comment section down below. and I will reply to everyone who leaves a comment. And anything you have to say, if it's constructive, I will of course accept it. If it's hateful, I'll see whether I'll have to ban you from the channel or whether I'll just delete your comment, but that's completely up to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.